Ladies, I have a treat for you today because we are going to be talking about skincare and hair care. And I am obsessed with this new product. We have a new sponsor that has come on to Menopause Reimagined. It's called OneSkin, and their products are incredible. I've been using them now for a while, and I have to say, you'll hear me talk about it in the interview with the co-founder, a female PhD scientist, and it is led by a team of scientists who created this line of skincare, and it's been shown to reverse the signs of aging. Reverse. Yeah, you heard me right. Reverse the signs of aging. So before I introduce today's guest, I'm going to do a quick intro to who I am. My name is Andrea Donsky. I'm a nutritionist for 20 plus years. I'm in menopause. I'm a menopause educator, published menopause researcher, and the co-founder of wearemorphus.com, a company that helps to educate and empower you to take control of your health and symptoms with nutrition, lifestyle, supplements, and research. And talking about research, I would love you to go to our website, which is wearemorphus.com, and fill out our surveys. If you haven't already, we have 14 now on the website, and we have a couple more coming. So I am so excited to continue our research in perimenopause and menopause with your help, because your voice matters. I want to hear from you. Your story matters. Today I'm speaking with Carolina Reis Oliveira. She's a PhD and the CEO and co-founder of OneSkin and an advocate for healthy aging. After earning her doctorate in immunology, she relocated from Brazil to Silicon Valley to pursue her goal of using science to help prevent age-related diseases. Under her leadership, OneSkin has made significant strides towards this mission, starting with their proprietary OS1 peptide, the first peptide scientifically proven to reverse skin's biological age. You heard that right. Now, here's Carolina. Welcome to Menopause Reimagined, Carolina.
Thank you so much, Andrea, for having me.
I'm excited to talk about skincare. I mean, I have talked about it in the past, and it's one of those things that gets me excited because while I'm not an expert in skincare, for me, I'm obsessed with skincare. And what's interesting is I didn't really start taking care of my skin until I was in my late 40s. Believe it or not, I used to wash my face with like regular soap, and I never really used like moisturizer that would do anything for my face. And then I remember when I got to be, I think it was like 47, 48, like somewhere like in my late 40s, I was like, okay, I think I really need to start taking care of my skin. And looking back now, I wish I would have started so much earlier.
Yeah, I'm with you. I would say that I started to pay attention more deeply as I started this company as well, and understanding better aging and how aging works. It's so important that we can start earlier because we can actually manage how this aging process evolves. And so the earlier that we start with like more preventative, skincare routine, and then later you keep that, it's easier to keep your skin healthy and looking, more younger and looking better over time than if you want to just start late and try to reverse, but it is still possible to reverse. So I'm glad that we're going to talk about that because in the end, like aging is a malleable process, and from a biological standpoint we can reverse it, we can bring it to a younger state, and we can basically repair some of the damage that we have accumulated over time.
So I'm happy to hear that because, especially when it comes to things like collagen or certain ingredients, you hear often that there really doesn't do anything for the skin. Or because, I mean, I'm interested in that because I take collagen internally, but I'm like, you see a lot of skincare products with collagen, and I've been told by skin experts that it doesn't really do anything when it's applied to the skin. So when you're talking about reversing aging, you actually came up with a peptide that actually helps to reverse wrinkles. And so, okay, talk about that because for me, I find that fascinating.
Yeah, so maybe we should talk about how we got
Sure.
to this company in the first place. Because growing up, and a little bit about myself, I was not obsessed about skincare or beauty, but I was obsessed about health and biology and understanding how our biology works and how things eventually stop working, and then that can lead to diseases and some tissue dysfunction. So that's why I want to become a scientist in the first place. I want to use science to help people to live better, maybe cure disease, or just like make an impact in people's health. So I got my PhD in stem cell biology and tissue engineering. And
Amazing.
one of the areas that we got really good during our PhD, it's basically growing tissues in the lab. So we were replicating human tissues in the lab. And initially we thought that we could use this to replace animal testing. So for a lot of reasons, a human tissue is better than, testing in animals, but mainly for the cosmetic industry, from an ethical standpoint, it makes no sense to test in animals. So we got really good at growing skins in the lab. So that's one of the things that we do. We grow skins and we can test the efficacy and the safety of any product that's out there. We can also test like different ingredients. Um, and then
Incredible.
eventually we started testing like anti-aging products because we saw that this anti-aging this industry is a massive, market.
Huge.
But
Yeah.
customers are still lost in terms of like which products work, like is this real science or this is only hype? And as we start testing products, we found some shocking, things. One is that many of the products that we tested were not, rejuvenating the skin, and they were actually causing inflammation and some toxicity. So they were potentially accelerating aging. So, those
I could
anti,
see that,
yeah.
especially with certain ingredients that are in skincare. I mean, I can actually completely understand what you're saying.
I know. And for us, like we know now with this new trend of like clean, safe products that okay, there is a reason behind of that because that can
Yes.
actually cause like more damage than good to the skin. So
Right.
that's what one point. The other thing that we saw is that most products they were only focused on the surface level. So basically they're targeting the fine lines and wrinkles, but they are focused like on quick fixes and kind of, immediate results, but they were not designed to go deeper and target what's causing aging at the cellular level.
Okay.
And as we were testing these products, and we were also studying a lot about the biology of aging, and we saw that so much has evolved in the past like 10, 15 years. And there were better ways to actually tackle aging from a cellular standpoint that we could reverse aging and not only, um, look for those quick fixes. And one of these processes that it's associated with aging the skin and also in our whole body is basically the accumulation of what we call old cells. They're also, called zombie cells,
Mhm.
senescent cells. And these are basically cells that have like divided many times, they accumulated damage, and then they stop functioning. So imagine a skin cell that should be there producing collagen and help your skin to be, plumper and firmer. Now that cell stop functioning. And that's not only the problem. The problem is that when they get into this state, they also start secreting inflammation. And then they start inducing the healthy cells around to age faster. So imagine like a a strawberry that got mold and now it's contaminating the whole basket of strawberries. So that's what this like zombie cell is doing to your skin. And what the research showed is that if we can reduce the amount of these old cells in the skin, if we can eliminate them, if we can clear them out of the way, then the healthy cells that are already there, they can divide again, they can start producing collagen again, and you can basically bring your skin to a younger state by targeting only
Wow.
the old cells. So you're not like affecting or disturbing the, healthy and young cells. You're just going on the, main problem that's like the old cells. And no one in the market was actually, focusing on this kind of approach for anti-aging. And then we saw that we could search for new molecules, and we spent like 5 years just testing peptides until we found a peptide that could reduce almost like 40% the load of these zombie cells in the skin. And then we saw
Wow.
incredible results on increasing collagen, reducing inflammation, and actually reversing or reducing what we call the skin's biological age. So again, your skin is now behaving like younger skin again. So that's in summary, what our peptide does.
So just to be clear, when you say that your product works at this, so OneSkin, it works at the cellular level, you're talking about the cellular level of the skin on
Yeah,
your face.
yeah, correct.
Okay. I just want to make sure because I did another interview with Qualia Life and they have a product that helps with senescent cells internally. And I'm thinking, this is
Yes,
a duo we all should be taking all the time. I'm
I
like,
know.
hello, amazing duo, right? We've got OneSkin, we've got Qualia. Like, I'm like, that's amazing. So, okay. So I'm going to share a little bit of my experience with using OneSkin because I've been using it for a little bit now. And I'm obsessed. I love it. I love the fact, so first of all, there's a lot of things I like about it. I love that it has no scent because for me, I'm sensitive to different smells. I love that you're not using ingredients because I'm very picky and our listeners know that I'm very picky who we decide to partner with and we decide to who I have come on this show. And when I heard that your product does what it does and it has clean ingredients, that to me was like a win-win. So I was like, okay, great. So I love that. And I love the fact that it has this incredible texture. Like it's very, like I'm very big on texture, and I love the fact when you put it on, it feels so silky. Like it feels nice, really nice on the skin.
Mhm.
And I like the fact that your SPF doesn't have any whitening. Like so you're putting on so for me, part of the reason that I don't apply, I wasn't really good at applying my SPF so great consistently because I didn't love the white that I would get like a white cast over. So here I have, I have your all of the products, including your cleanser, and I put it on and then I finish it off, which I'm actually want to go through the order. I just want to make sure I'm doing
Yeah,
the order right too.
yeah,
And I put on the SPF and I'm like, it's just part of it. That's just part of the moisturizer routine. And there's no whiteness to it. So I love all of those. So I'm happy that we're having this conversation because for me, I've tried a lot of different products, and this happens to be one that I love. And I also love when I put it on. And I was telling you before we started recording, there's something about it. Like when I put it on, I feel like it almost works instantly. And I don't know if that's just me thinking like, okay, this is going to change my skin, but I feel
yeah.
like it has this instant glow to it. So am I imagining it, or does it actually do that?
Yeah, I mean, I think we developed this formula first, like to be suitable to all skin types. So for those who have not tested, like this moisturizer is on the lighter side, but it's still very hydrating. But it soaks in really fast, and so it's not gonna feel like greasy, right? And so that's why even
Not at all.
like this because it's a product that they feel that. Is easier for them to use. And there's, again, no smell, no fragrance. And it's basically one step. The immediate results, we do add some ingredients that are going to improve your hydration, that are going to help with like radiance, and that are going to make your skin smoother. So smoothness is one that people feel like really fast. And like, I love the feeling. I wake up and, after I apply at night, and my skin feels so soft, and it just feel like healthy and,
Yeah.
resilient. So that's like one of the immediate benefits. But one of the things that we pride the most is for like the long-term benefits, because in the end, we want to help your skin basically to change the makeup of the cells, right? So like this, uh, I would say rejuvenation effect takes time, takes few weeks up to 3 months from our clinical studies, that we see the improvement in firmness, in elasticity, in fine lines and wrinkles. And it gets even better with like longer uses, longer periods of use. So we do studies that go up to 6 months and 1 year, just to evaluate longer
Amazing. Yeah, that's great.
use. And we see that it keeps getting better. So that's like one thing that we feel really proud, is that this compounding effect, that if you keep using, you help again continue to change the skin from within. But I love that you already experienced the immediate effects, because that's important for people to stick in, right? They needed to like the experience, they needed to like how the product like feels in their skin. Otherwise they will not like stay consistent.
Yeah, no, for me, the whole texture thing is big for me, and the fact that the ingredients are big for me. So I love that. Talk a little bit about the peptide and how you discovered it, the OS1 peptide.
Yeah, so as I said, we had this hypothesis that we want to find a peptide that there is still no other product in the market that was focusing on senescent cells. And we spent about like 4 years testing over 900 peptides. So basically, we have a lab and we have a team of scientists that have been working for the past 9 years that we started the company, and then we found OS1 after a few years of research, and we went through a rigorous process of validation. One, for the safety. This is a novel peptide. We want to make sure that's not causing any toxicity or
Right.
any undesired effect, and we were very, very rigorous with that. And
Good.
then we were validating the efficacy. So on the efficacy, what we see that the peptides, it goes into the cells and activates like DNA repair pathways. So it's basically activating the skin's natural repair system that's already
Wow.
there, but it's kind of dormant because the senescent cells are basically messing up with this system. And then with more repair, like you basically allow your skin cells to reduce like the number of those old cells, reduce the inflammation, improves the barrier of the skin. The skin increases more collagen, hyaluronic acid. And what I like about all of this is that, again, doesn't have any side effects. It goes in and activates the skin cells to work as they should. It's not like a band-aid that you're putting that is just like temporary. It's something that's like activating your own cells. And I feel this is kind of the natural way to, basically improve your skin health and consequently the appearance. And so we did all these studies in vitro in the lab for
Okay.
2 years, and then we went through clinical studies to validate now in humans how this would translate in terms of benefits. So the first study that we did was a 3 months, study to evaluate again improvement in the appearance, fine lines, wrinkles, and we saw significant improvement after 6 weeks. And as I said, it gets better after 12 weeks and after 6 months and 1 year. But we saw significant improvement in firmness, in fine lines, wrinkles, and in the barrier of the skin. And I think it's really important to talk about the barrier of the skin because it's one thing that if it's not, if you don't have like an intact or like a very strong barrier, your skin will become more sensitive because it's basically more open, more vulnerable to infections, pathogens, pollutants,
Hmm.
and uh, and then also you are going to lose more water, so your skin will get drier. And in the end, the barrier function is the main function of the skin. That's why the skin is our external organ, is to protect our internal body. So the barrier function is one thing that was really important for us, and that we saw significant improvement in this study with the face product. And we have clinical studies for all the other products that we developed, which are not many. We always focus on a simple, minimalist like skincare routine, but we make sure to validate with clinical studies the all the data that we developed internally.
And it's safe for sensitive skin too?
Yeah, all of our products are safe for sensitive skin. As you said, like we are very selective about the ingredients that we put in.
Yeah.
We are approved by the National Eczema Association.
Oh, good.
So all of our products are NEA approved. And this is basically if it's safe for people that have eczema, it's also safe for people with sensitive skin.
Yeah, because as we go into perimenopause and menopause, many of us have more breakouts, our skin is changing. And I've heard from so many women that once they've been in menopause for more than 5 years, their whole skin texture changes. So I love this because this is something like you were saying, you could do it at all ages. So my daughters can use your product and we can use it up to, for always. So I love the fact that, stay and saying that it could be reversed. I mean, that's a That's saying a lot. So again, like talk a little bit about what you've seen in your research. I love that you're a PhD. I love that you're a group of scientists. I love that you're women. I love that you understand. I love that you grow skin cells in a lab. Like as you were saying that, I'm like, what? That's unbelievable. So like you really understand our
Yeah.
skin as you're putting this product on our skin. So what are some of the things that you've seen, that's kind of like blown you away in the sense of like, wow, this product is unbelievable.
Yeah, I think, well, the first time that we actually saw that our peptide could reduce like 40% the amount of these aging cells, to me, this was really wow, because I know how detrimental the cells can be. And so finding something that can reduce, in that, level of significance to me was like really exciting. And we have seen so many incredible testimonials and people sharing, their results with the products. And these are people with, again, different skin conditions. It could be like sensitive skin, eczema, or a skin that sometimes is having a hard time to heal because also, the wound healing changes over time. And then if you can recover that skin resilience or strength, like your skin will heal faster. But also the before and afters. Again, I know that during menopause, with like the collagen loss and all the thinning of the skin, the crepiness that comes with it, we have seen incredible, like with our body lotion, like before and afters of like improving the crepiness and kind of the firmness and the thickness of the skin that I have not seen with the other products. So it's exciting to see that we are helping people. Like I was not being able to use like sleeves again, and now I'm being able to wear those shorts. Not myself, but like I'm
People
quoting
are saying like
someone.
tank
Yeah, yeah,
tops or whatever, right?
yeah.
There's
And
a
then
difference.
people are now like being more confident about their body again. And so
Wow.
it's incredible that we can help and impact people in that way.
So when you say that it could reverse, so is that something that happens like while you're using the products, or like let's say you use the products for 6 months a year and you see that difference, and then you take a month break and come back to
Yeah.
it. Like, does it stay? How does that work?
Yeah. So imagine that aging is the default process, right? So we can reverse it. So our best data so far is that over 12 months, we could reverse about like 3 years in the age of the skin. And so if instead of aging 1 year, you're actually reversing 3 years. And then if you stop using, you're going to start aging again. But you start like from a younger, place than where you were before using the products. So as we age, we know that we will always be combating, aging and the damage that we're exposed to. So ideally, you would continue to use, but if you stop, at least you are in a better place than before you use the product.
Okay. And then let's talk about how to apply it. Let's talk about what the products are, and then what is the order of application?
Yeah, so it's very simple. I'll start with like at night. What I do and we recommend is basically like cleansing your face with prep. That's our gentle cleanser. Again, it has like mild exfoliants. It should not dry out your skin, but will remove like deep impurities, makeup. If you have like a lot of makeup, you may need another makeup removal. But if it's a light makeup, it should remove it. And then you dry your face, and then you apply the face moisturizer. And also we have an eye cream. So the eye cream is interesting. So the face moisturizer, you can apply to your whole face, neck, and hands. And we developed the eye cream because we found this research that shows that the skin around our eyes ages like 20 to 30 years faster than the skin around the
Oh my
rest of our
gosh.
face, which is like, we know that, we didn't know that was that bad. But anyways, we know that the skin is thinner, and we want to develop something that was more potent than our face moisturizer. So we actually cultured, this was interesting, eyelid skins in the lab. So we partner with like surgeries, people that were doing like blepharoplastic surgeries. and the skin is so thin, so delicate. And we went into multiple iterations to find a formula that was like stronger, but was not like causing any sensitization, that was still usable for that delicate skin. And we found like results that were super impressive in terms of collagen production. We increased, compared to our face product, almost 3 times the amount of collagen production for the
Wow,
eye product.
that's
Yeah, and
amazing.
the clinical data is the strongest that we have so far in terms of hydration, elasticity, and this was measured with instruments. Um, and so we developed this eye cream because we know that people care about their eyes. It's the area that shows the signs of aging faster. And that's one that people have seen a lot of results as well. So at night, basically, it's like prep, face, and eye, and that's it. And then in the morning, you don't need to cleanse your skin again because it was already clean from the night before. You don't want to cleanse, because then you can strip out like the good oils and the microbiome of your skin. Unless you have very oily skin, that's a different case. Then you could cleanse again in the morning. But then you apply face moisturizer if you want, or you can go already to the SPF, as you said, because the SPF also has moisturizing ingredients like glycerin. It has a lot of antioxidants that can replace your vitamin C. So our face SPF already has vitamin C.
Oh, okay, good to know.
Yeah, it has green tea, it has acai extract. And so there is this blend of antioxidants that is comparable to vitamin C serums. And we test like the amount of antioxidants, the potency in the lab. And so we know that's comparable to other vitamin C in the market. And then that's it. And then you can, if you want to apply some makeup on top of your, the face SPF, you can do it. It's, as you said, it's very like lightweight. It's mineral. We like mineral again because it's safer for people with sensitive skin. It also doesn't have any, controversial that, the chemical
Like
sunscreens have.
oxybenzone does,
Yeah,
like, yeah,
exactly.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we have the body lotion that you apply after showering. So if you shower in the morning or the evening, you can apply after showering. You can apply on your whole body or in the areas that you feel that you need more, support. Like people, usually areas that people see, the most impactful results are arms, around the knees, that, one area that starts to sag more with aging, and in chest and décolletage.
Interesting. I've been using the body cream on my neck as well.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So I put it on my neck when I really like it. So, and that's really for me the big test. And I'm excited to look at the before and afters because for me,
Mhm.
I'm always like, oh, my neck. I feel like that for me, like
No,
so I can't wait. And I'm happy to hear also that the eye cream is super strong. And that's so interesting. That was very smart, actually, partnering with surgeons who were doing the eye lift. I know you said the name, the bless. I forget what
yeah,
it's.
blepharoplastic surgery. Yeah.
Thank you. And taking that skin to see, so you're using real human skin to test
Yeah.
the product, which is so brilliant.
Yeah. And it's very different from the rest of the face. Like it's so thin. So yeah, our goal is always to have like the closest model in the lab that we can do all the tests and then, validate into clinical studies in humans. But the closer that you can get in the lab, it's better for you to have a higher chance of like having better results in clinicals. And very few companies, if any, do what we do in terms of this level of like research and testing.
Amazing. Well, I'm so happy that we had the conversation, and I'm happy that I've been using the products and that you came on. I like, you know what, I'm so much about science. So when you hear, you know, we hear all the time that there's like a product out there that's going to make a difference. So for me, unless I know that there's science behind it, especially with skincare, because you don't see that all the
Yeah,
time, right?
it's really hard. I mean, go to the brands that you use and try to look for like science, clinical studies in their website. It's really really rare that you're gonna find evidence behind the product, because what most brands do, they use the supplier's data, the supplier that's selling the ingredients. So the supplier has done some tests and then they'll say, oh, this ingredient is supposed to increase collagen. And then they'll mix up with like other ingredients and they'll create a product. What we found internally is that the combination of different ingredients can lead to different outcomes. So if I put together like several products that are supposed to increase collagen, not necessarily, in the end, the final product will increase collagen. So you still needed to test the final product to make sure that that combination of ingredients is actually driving the outcome that you expect. And very few companies can test like, in skins in the lab like we do. And then
That's
eventually
unbelievable.
some of them test in humans. But again, it's the chances that if you skip this first test like that will work in humans, sometimes it's definitely more challenging to find the results that you want.
So, do you have anything you want to share before we end the interview that we didn't cover today?
Yeah, I think one area that we just started to research is also hair thinning and hair loss.
Oh,
And I don't
okay.
know if you got the product yet, but we can definitely send you some, because we know that with menopause, the decline of collagen and progesterone definitely impacts like hair thinning. So
Huge
basically,
for us. Huge.
yeah. So
So
basically,
many women complain about hair thinning or hair loss. So that's really interesting. Okay, so tell me, sorry, I interrupted you. Tell me what
no,
what the
yeah,
product
all
does.
good. So what we know about hair, menopause and hair thinning. So estrogen keeps the hair in the anagen phase. That's like the growth phase. And after estrogen declines, the hair changes to the telogen phase. That's basically this phase that the hair is shedding. So there is a very, steep decline, and this leads to a lot of shedding and hair thinning. The other thing that we know is that one of the main causes of like hair thinning or hair loss, it's when testosterone is converting into DHT. That's like a different form.
Dihydrotestosterone. Yep.
Yes, exactly. And it binds into these receptors in our hair follicles and causes like shrinkage of the hair. So, again, the hair thinning. And progesterone is the hormone that prevents testosterone to be converted to DHT. So again, with these two declines in progesterone and estrogen, there is like more hair in telogen phase, and there is more DHT that's now binding to our, hair follicles and inducing hair shrinkage. So what we found is that the senescent cells that are also causing aging or skin, they are also associating in hair thinning and hair loss, because inside the hair follicles, again, they are preventing the hair cycle to functioning well. They are secreting inflammation, so they are again impairing that process. And it's the main contributor of age-related hair thinning. So, and there was again no product that was targeting senescent cells for hair. And we spent again, I think at least 2 years, probably more, developing this new formula. It's a serum, it's a scalp serum that contains the peptide and OS1 peptide. That's a proprietary peptide. And we found that again, first, the serum is very lightweight. It's like water based, so it's not going to make your hair greasy. Ideally, you would apply morning and night. There is also a derma roller that you can apply first to help like the serum to penetrate better.
Oh, nice.
And so it's water based. It's so you should apply twice a day, if not at least once a day. And from our clinical studies, we saw that after 6 months, so hair takes longer. We needed to be
Mhm.
even more consistent,
Yeah.
consistent than the skin. We saw that increased hair density in 40%, which was
That's a
really,
lot.
yeah, was really impressive. And it increased the hair thickness, basically the width of the hair in 42%. And also
Mhm.
increased the number of hair follicles that were in the anagen growth phase in about like 38%. So all of these were really, really impressive results. We have like impressive before and afters in our website. Again, this was a 6 months clinical result study. We did see improvement after 3 months, but it gets like
Even better.
stronger with 6 months. And it's one area that we're seeing people like sharing so many benefits also from the scalp that gets itchy, gets like flaky, sensitive. Uh,
Burning scalp, dry scalp. I mean, that's a big, it's inflammation in the scalp, right?
yes,
Which is a huge
yes.
thing, which by the way, a lot of it is caused also, yes, hormones, genetics, but also stress is a
Mhm.
huge cause for inflammation and hair issues. So I love that. So, okay, question. Can you spot treat it? So like, is it something you put all over your hair, I guess, or can it, let's say I'm like, okay, I'm losing it more on the sides. Can you just put it into
Yeah,
the sides?
usually recommend going more on the areas that you want to focus. So, it could be on the hairline here on around the temples or whatever you part your hair that you feel that's getting a little thinner.
Okay.
If you want to use from a preventative standpoint, that's something that, looking back, I wish I would be better with like my hair. Also, I didn't have that product, but anyways, uh, like we treat our skin to prevent fine lines and wrinkles, why we don't treat our scalp to prevent hair thinning? So I
Absolutely.
think that's one, area that we're trying to bring more awareness. And so you could potentially use, like some people just apply, there is like a little applicator all over. I apply in the areas that I want to focus more, and then you
Okay.
massage, and then you should be good. You can still style if you want to. The other tip is that after you shower, you can also apply, and then you can, style your hair. You can blow dry, no problem.
So it doesn't make it greasy. It just,
Oh,
oh, see, that's
yeah,
fantastic.
yeah.
Wow. I love that. That's amazing. I love that. Okay. So hair, skin, I mean, we've got you covered, ladies. And I know that you have a special offer for our listeners, and it's 15% off, I believe,
Yes.
any, yep, OneSkin products. And we're going to put a link to everything below. We have a special URL using Morphus. So we'll put that below. And I highly recommend trying it. I mean, honestly, Carolina, I'm not just saying it. I really, really love the product and I'm excited to try the hair one. Actually, I take a product, we have a product called Toco E, and I'm thinking, again, I'm thinking like these dynamic duos with the topical hair product, with the internal Morphus Toco E. I'm like, again, you've
Really.
got that dynamic duo that probably helps even speed it up a little bit. And you're kind of working internally and externally.
100%. I think in the end, our skin, our hair, everything is integrated with our internal health. So it's super, super important to, you know, uh, take care internally with the supplements, make sure that you have all the nutrients to support,
Totally.
yeah,
And
inside.
and our hair, we're so tied into our hair, right? Like it's such a big thing. I remember years ago, I used to um, work with a brand. I was on the shopping channel in Canada, and I used to promote a brand, and it was a product for hair. And it's one of those things you hear from so many people, the stories. And this was before I was even in perimenopause or menopause. And now fast forward to perimenopause and menopause, and the stories are heartbreaking. I hear from so many women that that they're losing their hair is thinning, and it affects our self-esteem, which we know is already another symptom of perimenopause and
Yeah,
menopause. So this is a way that we can help that. We can help the hair grow. Like you're saying, I mean, everything takes time, right? So 6 months, being consistent, twice a day, also with OneSkin, with the moisturizer and the eye cream and the body cream. Like I love that you have a full system that you don't, and I also love that it's simple. Like you
yeah,
were like, it's really simple. All you do is do this and this. And it's like, you don't need like, it's not like difficult. And I kind of I get caught up in like the, how do I do everything? You're like, no, really
yeah,
easy. Just put on the moisturizer and
yeah,
put on the eye cream and your body cream and you're good to go. And the SPF. I'm like, okay, that seems really easy.
yeah.
So easy. I like that.
Yeah, no, we like that too. And I think we believe that to have like a very healthy, beautiful skin, you don't need, 10 different products. You can pack like the ingredients. And if you are very thoughtful on how you develop the products, fewer products can do the job.
Yeah, and I also like, I'm going to give you props for this. You were saying put it on at night. So put the moisturizer, put the eye cream on at night, and in the morning, you don't even have to reapply it. All you have, you can reapply the SPF. And I'm like, okay, that's really interesting because you're like, it's so powerful. if you're not going to wash your face in the morning, apply your SPF or reapply the moisturizer, however you want to do
Yeah.
it. But you weren't like, you have to do it that way. So I thought that was really interesting too.
Yeah, we like to have these options because some people want to oversimplify, some people want to, I will give me all. So like, yeah, we say if you want to apply, I usually apply morning and night. I
I
think it's
do
just,
too. I
yeah,
apply morning and night. Yeah.
yeah, it's another layer. But if I'm in a hurry and I only, want to put one product, then it's the SPF. Yeah.
I love it. Yes, SPF is very important. So this is great. Thank you so much. I love this. I loved every minute of it. Highly recommend trying out OneSkin product. Like I said below, we'll put a link to everything below. And then I'm actually excited to check in with you in like 6 months or what, 3 months, 6 months or whatever it is to actually see the before and afters because
Yeah.
like I could tell because I'm on camera all the time. And when I look at myself in the camera, like I even like my kids are on, they love Snapchat and they keep sending me these snaps and they're like, all they do is take pictures of themselves. And then I'll take a picture of a selfie and I'm like, no, I'm not doing it. So I'm like hoping like my OneSkin product be like, okay, I'll just take my selfies and my kids will laugh. They'll be like, yeah, mom, get on it, get on it. So like
Yeah.
on the Snapchat trend. So anyway, so I'm excited to
Love
see
that.
what the results will be in like 3 to 6 months.
Yeah, I'm excited as well. And we'll make sure to send you the hair product so you can try it as well.
I love it. Thank you so much. So how can people find out more about you and about OneSkin?
Yeah, so you can go to our website, oneskin.co.co, subscribe to our newsletters. We always share more about the science, the products. We recruit people for beta test of new products.
Oh,
There is
good.
a lot of like great information that we share in our newsletters. Our Instagram is also at oneskin.co and TikTok also oneskin.co. And yeah, I think these are the main channels.
I love it. Thank you so much for doing this today.
Thank you for having me, Andrea.
I hope you enjoyed my interview with Carolina as much as I did today. I love the fact that they test their products on real skin. So, like the fact that she was saying that they use eyelid skin and they grow skin cells in the lab to me is just absolutely awesome. I love that. I love that they're female led. I love that they're PhDs and scientists. And I love that these women understand our skin. So, if you want to try OneSkin, which I highly recommend doing, I'd also love you to support our sponsors because they are what makes Menopause Reimagined possible. You can go to oneskin.co/Morphus. That's oneskin.co/MORPHUS. So oneskin.co/Morphus, and you will receive 15% off your first purchase. That's 15%, 15 off your first purchase. So thank you for spending the last little bit with me. I know there's a lot you could be doing, but instead you chose to spend your time with me. And for that, I am grateful. I'll see you at the next interview.